And for this, what did they do? Because the gates were not open to them, there was a passage of impasse. You can also write it down over here. It resulted in passage of impasse, and gates of Palace of Versailles were closed for them. Right? You have to mention this in your answer, National Assembly. First incidence of nearest formation of republic we see here, right? So what happened? They entered the tennis court and they take an oath over there. So the armed king prevented the entry of the members of the third estate into the hall of Versailles. However, the determined member of the third estate, now also known as the National Assembly, they went to a nearby local court of tennis, the tennis court, and took an oath not to disclose and to create a constitution. What did they mean by this? What do they mean by this? That we, the people of France, we will give the power to some, we will be the one who will be giving the legitimacy or who will be responsible to the citizens of France. It is not any kind of random monarch who is just having a over-centralized power and not even concerned about the welfare or the financial crisis prevalent in the nation. So this oath is known as tennis court oath. Okay, formation of National Assembly and tennis court oath. Now, what was the bone of contention between the third estate and the first two estates? That the first two estates wanted one vote per estate and third estate wanted that one vote per member. Okay, per member. So this became a bone of contention. Now the main aim to draft a new constitution, it was basically to limit the power of the monarch, right? So the desperate king, he convened a special session. Okay, as the story proceeds, you will see that even this king is very clever. Ultimately, they hang this king. Okay. The desperate king, he convened a special session of Estate General on 23rd June 1789, and during the session, the king declared the activities of third state as illegal, and he upheld the rights and privileges of the nobility and the clergy yet. Now, we see here that ultimately it leads to refusal of orders by the king, and these people were so adamant, right, that they wanted that king had to concede to the general will of the people, okay, and he accepted the principle that his power would from now be formed by the constitution. For this, he called a joint sitting of all the three estates, and later he approved the formation of the National Assembly, but all this was done very forcefully. We'll see how. Because of the fall of the Bastille, or you can say fall of ancient regime in France. Is the chronology clear to you? That initially he was very adamant, no, that the power has to be only with the privileges, has to be only with the nobility and the clergy. But ultimately what happens, he was forced to listen to lot of common people. Now understand that a group of people are coming together in a tennis court and they take a oath, we are the National Assembly of France, right? Now the king over here, as you'll see, is little clever. From monarchy, he will move towards a constitutional monarchy. But ultimately there also we'll see that he comes back to his old ways and then again further in the third stage we'll see that he is ultimately hanged, right? And ultimately later we see coming up of the rule of terror or Jacobean rule, followed by rise of Napoleon, and ultimately in the end it will be France getting total, or France becoming a total republic state. Is it clear? Four causes: political, ठीक है, second political, over centralization of power, second social, three estate general, social inequalities prevalent. Third, economic crisis, over taxation, overtly taxing the peasant class, extravagant expenditure of the nobles and the kings, right? And the wars which they were happening, the international wars. Fourth major reason was the influence of the Enlightenment philosophers, right? All this what happened led to the third estate ultimately gathering together in the tennis court and claiming that now this is the National Assembly of France and we the people will give the legitimacy. Is it clear? Okay, so further what happens that